welcome back to my channel. So today I have this kind of fall Kylie Jenner inspired look. Kylie Jenner has been killing the game lately, to her makeup, to her fashion, just to pretty much everything she does in life. She is just like on fleek, slaying everywhere she goes. So I wanted to recreate the look that she did. I'm gonna kind of post a picture somewhere here. I think it was when she went to the VMAs or the Kanye West concert. I don't know. She went somewhere, and of course she slayed her look as always, and she did kind of like a baby doll peachy kind of look with her hair up in a bun. So I wanted to try to create that look but put my little spin on it, of course. So it is a little bit more bold, maybe a little bit more red, a little bit more me. So if you want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. And then I also already did my brows because they are atrocious and they need to be done. And I went in with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to start with my eyes. So I'm going to go in and prime them with my L'Oreal True Match Concealer. I love this concealer to prime my eyes. It is light enough but also provides enough coverage to cover any redness or any veins that I have going on, while providing a nice base for my eyeshadow. It's very important to provide a primer or a base or a concealer just because it does allow it to stick better and not crease. Setting your concealer is also actually very important as well because, like we said, our under eyes, we need to set anything that we apply, especially if you're using concealer as a primer instead of a regular eye primer. So next I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. palette. I'm not sure what collection this is, but I'm going to go in with this orange color, and this is going to act as my crease color. So I just took that on a big fluffy brush and I'm just going to apply that just everywhere on the crease. So next I'm going to take this red kind of cranberry brickish color, and I'm just going to apply this on the outer corners of my eyes. I just want to add a little bit of definition, so I'm not going to apply too much just because I don't want the red to overpower, but I wanted to bring a little bit more color into this look. So I'm going to go ahead and fluff that out, kind of make sure there are no harsh lines. I'm going to drag that a little bit into the crease just to kind of define the crease just a little bit more. I also went back in with that same brush I started with the crease color, took a little bit more of that orange and kind of just hashed out any of the harsh lines and provided a little bit more depth and definition to the eyes. I also went back in with kind of a more dense color just to kind of really pack it on. So next I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of concealer. I'm taking the same concealer, the L'Oreal True Match Concealer, and I'm just going to kind of carve out the lids of my eyes where I want to apply my eyeshadow, my base eyeshadow. And this trick is just going to help make the eyeshadow pop just a little bit more. So I'm going in with this kind of orangey goldish color, and this is actually a really pretty color. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that onto the lid with a packer brush. And I'm really going to try and pack on the color. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Mario Badescu facial spray, and I'm going to spray the brush a little bit, go back in with that same shadow and just really pack it on just to kind of make the colors more vibrant and to make them pop just a little bit more. Alright, so I'm going to go back in with my crease brush and I'm just going to blend everything out, making sure there are no harsh lines. Just be careful when you're kind of blending shimmery colors because you don't want to blend them into the crease. So next we're going to take a highlight color. I just took, I think, the Tartelette in Bloom highlight color and just applied that to my brown bone. So next I'm going to be mixing two concealers. I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Better Skin concealer and then back in with that L'Oreal True Match concealer just to highlight the under eyes. Now guys, I did mess up. I was not supposed to apply the Maybelline concealer on first, just because as you can tell, it is way too light for my skin tone. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the L'Oreal True Match concealer, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to splat that on a little bit just to kind of darken it up a little bit. And you do see that it does kind of tone it down a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with my beauty blender, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out while cleaning up my eyeshadow on the sides to create that nice cut crease on the side. Now you're going to see I flipped the beauty blender over because I want to pick up some of that concealer that I picked on, because I'm just noticing that it's going on way too light, and I want to try to diffuse that a little bit. So that's a good trick and what makes the beauty blender so awesome. So we're just gonna go ahead and blend everything out, blend up our corners, blend up the nose, the forehead, and the chin. And I also took that concealer towards the inside of my nose, so when I go in and contour later. So next I'm gonna go in with the Hoola bronzer, and I'm going to start carving out my nose so we can have a snatched tight nose, because we all want that cute little button nose. And I'm just gonna take that to the sides and bring it in, but I'm also gonna make sure I'm dragging it up to the eyes. And then I also took the beauty blender just to kind of diffuse it a little bit more. I noticed that it was going on a little too heavy, but I think it's just the brush I'm using, because I like to apply it with this brush. I find that this brush really works the best for me. So I just take the beauty blender and I go back in and I diffuse the areas where I see harsh lines. So next I'm going to be just dragging it out towards the corners just to kind of create the shadow a little bit, because I don't really have a defined nose at the top, kind of between my eyebrows. So taking a little bit of bronzer and diffusing that also helps. And then I'm taking that to the bottom of my nose and then applying a little bit of concealer on the tip just to kind of bring the light there, just so it can kind of create a kind of a brought out effect, if that makes sense. And then going back in with the beauty blender and diffusing all the harsh lines. So now it's time to set everything. I'm taking the Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just going to be applying that with my beauty blender. I find that it works the best. And I'm also going to be pressing that in a little bit. I find that when I press in the powder with the beauty blender, it kind of makes everything have more of a poreless finish. And then I'm just going to be sweeping off the excess with my Morphe brush. So as we can see, it's still a little light. So I'm going to be going back in with my Smashbox foundation powder. And I'm just going to take kind of a dual fiber brush. It's really soft. And I'm just going to be applying a little bit more coverage on the areas I need. And not also taking that to the under eye concealer just to kind of diffuse the light a little bit more. So I'm going to go back in with that same Benefit bronzer, and I'm going to be kind of chiseling out the cheeks a little bit. I also took that to the bottom of my lip just to create a little bit more of a pouty effect. So I'm going to be taking that same orange color that I used for my crease, and I'm just going to be smoking out my lower lash line just a little bit. And then I also took that red color and applied it on the outer corners just to create a little bit more depth and definition. So I'm going to be going in back with my lash line with a different brush just to make sure everything's nice and smoked out and nothing is really too harsh. Kind of just making it diffuse and a little bit more defined. So now it's time for the highlight. I'm going in with this glow kit, and I'm going to be taking a combination of all 4 colors. I just dipped it once in each color and then applying that to the high areas. Gotta fix the baby hairs on the side. And I'm going to be going in next with blush. So I took this kind of pinky blush, but I noticed that it was a little bit too pink, so I kind of mixed it in with the eyeshadow that I used for my crease just to kind of create kind of a seamless look and not too much of a defined look. So I'm going in with my mascara and then my false lashes, and I did do this part off camera because I noticed that the way I was positioned with the camera, I actually was not in shot at all. So now that we all have our lashes on and our mascara, I just went in with my bottom lash line mascara and kind of just making those bottom lashes pop. Now I didn't know what kind of lipstick to use because I didn't want to take away from the beautiful eye look. So I went in with this first Model color. It's kind of like a nudish pink, well at least I thought it was, but it came out a little bit more pink than I wanted. And I also noticed that it was cracking on my bottom lip. So I decided to go back in with this other color, this Revlon HD matte color, and then that also kind of wasn't doing it for me. So I went back in with this Revlon Ultra HD matte color in more of a nude color, and that actually was perfect for me. So this is right where I wanted to be. So now it's time to set everything. I just went back in with the Mario Badescu facial spray. Make sure you gotta check yourself out, make sure everything's nice and sleek. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you next time.